Heads up. Hello everyone, Dana14 Prime here. I want to drop a heads up video today. There's been a plethora of Hot Toys news, particularly in the Iron Man part of the world. We all know Hot Toys is Iron Man happy, but we've had like 4 Iron Man announcements in the past couple days. They're up here on Sideshow. Link in the description below if you're interested in picking any of these figures up. Check the link in the description below. Any shopping you do through those links supports the channel at no cost to you and is very much appreciated. So definitely some interesting news here where we've got some, call it reissue releases of the Hulkbuster and the Mark 43. Though the Hulkbuster, as we know from all the conventions, is being tweaked with the jackhammer arm and some other accessories. They're then selling that accessory kit separately, so you can tack it onto your existing Hulkbuster if you've got one. Then they are flat out reissuing the Mark 43, which is, I think, really a surprise. The Hulkbuster I was forgiving of because it's been modified, but to flat out reissue a figure, very rare. I mean, Hot Toys just doesn't do it, so probably something to discuss there. And then they've got a new artist concept edition of the Mark 46. So let's jump into these and check these out here. So here we've got the art concept Civil War version of the Mark 46. $377, and it's going to come first quarter of 19, so not too far away, not that long of a lead time. It does seem to basically be like a repaint of the old Mark 46. I'll do my best here to get them kind of side by side for you to compare. Just kind of throw this up quickly here. So here we've got the 46 in Civil War, and here we've got the concept art version, and you can see, without going over every little detail, but I'd say that that's the same suit, and definitely just painted differently. Basically got red boots, red gloves, gold arms, gold legs, and then the red torso. The really interesting thing with this is it's like classic, which is cool. We don't really get that from Hot Toys. It's all about TV shows, movies, and all of that. So you don't see any comic book classic art or anything like that. But that's kind of what this looks like. So if you're into a comic book Iron Man, I think this would be really cool for you to add to your collection. I'll kind of tick through some pics here. I mean, by all means, we know what it is with the Mark 46, so you're not really getting anything different here. I will say for the price, you don't get Robert Downey head sculpt. So it's expensive because you don't get that head sculpt. And you don't get a ton of accessories, but some of these pics are really cool. This Captain America is awesome. A great Chris Evans likeness on that cap. I've got him coming. Of course, the suit concept art, all black with that cap, but man, the skin tone and everything with the Chris Evans there I thought was awesome. Apparently they love this over-the-top pose. There's quite a few there. You got enough articulation to hit the landing pose without any spare parts, so that's kind of cool. You got the flaps there, the repulsors. So let's kind of jump to the end here. And what you get, it's kind of all the same, right? You get the flaps, the chest, some details here on the shoulders, some different swap outs for the forearms, hands, of course, and then you get a pretty basic stand, I would say, with Marvel Studios. I believe it's the 10-year kind of anniversary type stuff. So interesting piece, kind of pricey not having a head sculpt. Really interesting because of the comic nature of it, really classic sort of Iron Man look. I do like this glove. I do like how the red thumb and the gold hand. It's pretty cool. So it's a sharp looking piece. Probably not for me. Got enough Iron Men. And this one, I think, for the price is pretty steep, considering I don't get a head sculpt. So, but very cool out there. If I wanted a comic book Iron Man, I think that would be a great piece. Next up, we get a Mark 43 reissue. I mean, this is just flat out reissue. They even just say it's reissued. When you go out here and look at the pics, there's really no pics. It just shows really how it works with the Hulkbuster, which is being, I'll say reissued, but reissued in a deluxe format. So I get, since it works with the Hulkbuster, that you say, okay, give them Mark 43 as well, so you don't have all these new Hulkbuster buyers out there scrambling to get Mark 43 off eBay or something like that. So I get it. $360. I think they took it up $15. It comes relatively quickly. I mean, yeah, you're what, third quarter of next year? Not that quick, I guess, but they basically just need to pump these things back out. From the details below, it is exactly everything that came with the other one. So you will get the Robert Downey head sculpt and all the other extras, the stand, all that. despite the lack of pics in here. They're really focusing on just how it works with the Hulkbuster suit. But yeah, I just hope this is like an exception and Hot Toys doesn't go reissue happy, because I've liked the line that they've drawn. You know, reissues is a no-no. Yes, there'll always be the next figure because there's always the next movie. Therefore, there's always the next Iron Man figure. There's always the next Cap figure, whatever. But they don't go back and reissue. I like that about Hot Toys. Here, I guess I'm willing to be a bit forgiving given the pairing that these two have together. But I certainly hope Hot Toys doesn't make a habit out of reissuing old figures, you know, no matter what the secondary market is doing. So here we get the big boy himself, the Hulkbuster Deluxe Kit, or deluxe version. So $1,150. It's up from $825 the first time they issued it. And of course we're getting some extras. So I don't mind when they do something like this. We've seen this at the conventions, but it has the jackhammer arm. That's the new big thing. As well as a swap out locking mechanism. So that is actually the locking mechanism that grabbed the Hulk and then kind of he dragged him around. So get some pics of that. Again, it basically seems to be the same. I mean, you fit your Mark 43 in there. It comes with the bust. All that's the same. I will say in the descriptions, it calls 20 LEDs out versus the old description called out 16. So I don't know what they've done there. I don't know if it has to do something with this jackhammer arm specifically. But they do call out a few more LEDs. So there you've got the two figures. If you had them together, shows you how it goes in. So all of that is the same. So yeah, if you wanted to, you could drop, you know, $1,500–$1,600 to kind of put that back together, which is probably about what well, the figure itself, the Hulkbuster, has probably been going for about $1,600 on the secondary market. So for those of you that have been looking for one, you're happy to see them. This is the jackhammer arm. This is part of the deluxe kit. So lots of the cool fighting poses here. There you got the regular arm, the jackhammer arm, and then again the jackhammer arm comes with the deluxe kind of locking mechanism, as they call it. All right, so let's jump out here. Shows all the details. By all means, click the link in the description below. You can come out and check out all these pics. This is kind of everything all in. I think we've seen it all. You do get a Veronica here. They call it a pod. It's only 6 centimeters tall, so it's pretty small, you know, whatever, 3 inches or something, 4 inches, let's say. I guess it'll give the effect of it being sort of, because this thing floated in the sky in a distance. So I guess if you had this up on display, it would sort of by its size create the illusion of being off into the distance. So I guess that works and can make some sense. Yeah, this thing, first quarter of 2020. So you'll get your Mark 43 before this guy by about 6 months or so. And like I said, for those of you looking to pick one up, you're probably happy to see this because it's definitely going to save you some money versus the secondary market. And then interestingly, they've done for all you that have picked up the original Hulkbuster is they're giving you the accessory kit. I like this. I like the idea of accessory kits with Hot Toys. I talked about this in my video on the Mark 50. I hope they do more of this in terms of some accessory kits to sort of build out the figures a bit more, add on to the figures. I do really like this idea. So for $250, which if you got your original Hulkbuster for $825 and now you're adding $250, you're actually saving some money versus buying the deluxe kit as it's priced out today. But you're just getting the arm piece here. It's a first quarter 2020. Again, so you're just getting these pieces. They kind of highlight it here, so don't mind these color differences. Some people have commented on these, but that's just highlighting what's different. So you get the locking mechanism and you get the jackhammer arm. And it seems that somehow there's probably a way, a toolkit or something they're going to give you so you can like take the arm off, I imagine. Even off your existing Hulkbuster, safely do that and swap in this arm. So we'll see. I imagine it's going to be, again, some tools or something. Because I don't know from any video I've seen that it's just easy to kind of swap up, pop off an arm, you know, and swap something out. So I think people are interested to see how that will work, but I imagine you're going to be needing some sort of toolkit they will provide, I would expect. So for those of you that had the original, you know, don't be disappointed. You can kind of accessory up here for $250, and you also get the Veronica pod, interestingly. Even though it says it's exclusive to the deluxe version and the deluxe listing, here it seems you get it with the accessory kit as well. So it's not so exclusive. You can get your hands on that and basically get everything that is in the deluxe kit. So that's been the the Iron Man crazy news. Hot Toys, almost an Iron Man shop sometimes it seems. So quite a bit there coming out here. I passed on the Hulkbuster before with just sort of the fiasco that it was to bring that thing to the marketplace and all the delays they had. It's a cool piece. I think it's an iconic Hot Toys piece. That's the one thing that I would think I would ever buy it, would just because it's sort of just an iconic Hot Toys piece. As an Iron Man piece and a movie piece, I have less interest. It doesn't really have that much meaning to me personally. But as just a big, iconic, maybe one of their greatest pieces ever, it's a cool collectible in that sense. Check out the links in the description below. Jump out, check out the pics, check these things out. Pick them up if you're interested. Time permitting here, let me show you one other release, which has been the Bucky. The Bucky came out here earlier in the week. I didn't do a separate video on him, but $243, third quarter of next year. You know, the Infinity War machine rolls on. This is a nice figure. I think it looks really good. I think the soft goods looks excellent on this figure. And the pants and that jacket thing he wears all look really good. The gloves and the forearm pieces, I mean, it looks really good. The likeness, I think, is really great. This is one of those things where when it comes to the movie, I mean, the guy had like 2 scenes that I remember. One scene he's baling hay. The next he was, shooting everyone with Rocket when he picked him up and was spinning around. And then I guess the scene where he disintegrated. So I remember 3 things. So not a really big role in the movie. He had the Wakanda arm here. So that's what you get with the movie. I've got the Civil War version. I mean, I prefer the silver arm with the Russian star on it, right? I think that's the Winter Soldier. That's Bucky. But of course, that's not for this movie. The face sculpt here is really good. All sculpted hair. Great likeness, I think. So for me, he's kind of one of those figures that's in the Infinity War fringe, and I've got quite a few figures on order. You can check out my Hot Toys purchase order not too long ago, where you can see pretty much everything I have on pre-order. This guy's kind of on the outside looking in, sort of there with like Groot and Rocket. Do I want to go there? Since that video, I did add War Machine as well, so I've got a good chunk of figures coming. Oh, there's that scene. That's cool. And I don't know that I'll be plopping this guy on because I don't know that I need 2 Buckies in the collection, and I prefer the one I've got. But big gun again. Really nice looking kind of details across the gloves, the forearm, the jacket thing that he wears. If you don't have a Bucky, it's definitely a nice one to pick up. And then what's interesting here is you get this sort of disintegrating arm. They haven't revealed it yet. It'll be interesting to see how they do that. Memory serves, Bucky was the first one that they had bite the dust, no pun intended. But it will be interesting to see what they do. And is that something that's actually going to be something you can swap out and take this arm off and put something on that looks like it's all, skeletal and turning to dust and fragmenting? Or is it just going to be, something you'd set by the base, like the end of it all or something, and just a separate piece? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see the follow-up of what that looks like. That could tip the scales for some people to buy this figure or not. So again, $243, third quarter next year. Bucky, he's out there as well if you're interested. Links in the description below. Out to Sideshow. Check out all the pro picks. I've got some figures on the way. Thor coming in the next week or 2. Emperor will be coming after that as well. So stop by, check back, and check out those figure reviews and get you my perspective on them as well. All right, guys, thanks for checking in. I'll see you next time.